They called it a love story. But the real Sleeping Beauty wasn't asleep. She was dead. And the prince? He didn't save her. He violated her corpse. This isn't the bedtime story Disney told you. The truth behind Sleeping Beauty is one of the darkest tales in European folklore. A story soaked in death, sin, and the fear of womanhood itself. Tonight, we're pulling back the thorny vines hiding its real origins. From cursed godmothers and dead queens, to the moment a lifeless girl gave birth in her sleep. This is the forbidden origin of Sleeping Beauty, and it's far more disturbing than you think. In the versions before Disney, the castle wasn't surrounded by flowers or magic. It was buried in living thorns. Those thorns didn't just block intruders. They killed them. Each prince who tried to reach her was strangled, impaled, or devoured by the vines. To medieval readers, thorns symbolize sin, a curse placed upon humanity after the fall from Eden. So the castle wasn't just asleep, it was possessed, a tomb of life wrapped in the vines of damnation. Priests during the Middle Ages even called thorn bushes the devil's hedge, believing evil spirits nested there, whispering to those who wandered too close. And inside that hedge lay a girl untouched by death. Or so they thought. Sleeping Beauty isn't the story of a princess saved by love. It's a story about a man who found a dead woman and refused to let her go. The oldest Italian version, Sun, Moon, and Talia, tells us the truth. A king finds the princess, pricked by a splinter of flax. She isn't asleep, she's dead. But instead of mourning her, he's overcome by her beauty. He violates her lifeless body, leaves, and months later, her corpse gives birth to twins. One of the babies accidentally sucks out the splinter in her finger, and she wakes up. Her first words, not love, not shock. She simply asks for her children. It's a story not of romance, but resurrection through violation. A horrifying symbol of purity turned to possession. And the story doesn't end there. The king's wife, yes, he was already married, discovers the children. She orders her cook to kill them and serve them to the king for dinner. The cook spares them, of course, but the queen's plan is clear. A feast of flesh, a twisted echo of old pagan fertility rituals where death feeds life. This is where the curse transforms into something much deeper. It's not about a witch's jealousy. It's about human corruption, royal sin, and the price of lust disguised as love. Now here's where myth bleeds into reality. In Westminster Abbey, the corpse of Queen Catherine of Valois, the widow of Henry V, was left exposed for centuries. Visitors could touch her face. Some even kissed her mummified lips. One of them, the famous diarist Samuel Pepys, wrote in 1669, "I did kiss a queen." Catherine's unrotted face inspired rumours that she was not dead, but merely asleep. A sleeping queen waiting for her resurrection. Sound familiar? Historians now believe her incorrupt body may have fueled the myth of Sleeping Beauty, a real-life corpse mistaken for divine beauty. In older myths, the evil fairy wasn't just jealous, she was divine. Her name was Themis, a fallen goddess of justice banished from Olympus. She arrives at the feast in smoke and sulfur, like a demon entering a church. Her curse isn't out of spite, it's punishment. She condemns the princess to eternal stillness, a symbolic death for rejecting nature's law. In some versions, her curse mirrors the story of Lucifer, a celestial being cast out for daring to defy creation. The fairy wasn't evil. She was justice itself, terrifying, misunderstood, and uninvited. The spinning well wasn't a random detail. It's straight from ancient mythology. The fates spun the threads of human lives, cutting them when a person's time was over. Sleeping Beauty's prick was fate itself, death fulfilling its promise. Her 100-year sleep represents the cycle of death and rebirth, not a romantic pause. Even Norse legends tell a similar tale. Brynhild, a Valkyrie punished by Odin, pricked by a thorn and trapped in fire until a man awakens her. Across cultures, this story repeats. The divine punished, the woman cursed, the man misled by the illusion of salvation. Let's face it, the real horror of Sleeping Beauty isn't the curse. It's the idea that her beauty never fades. In medieval Europe, women whose bodies didn't rot were called incorrupt saints. Churches displayed them like relics. Beauty frozen in time. Holiness equated with lifeless perfection. Sleeping Beauty became the ultimate corpse bride. Preserved purity mistaken for love. Her story whispered one message. It's better to be beautiful and dead than flawed and alive. This wasn't a tale about hope. It was a warning about control, chastity, and the fear of female power. So maybe the curse wasn't on her finger. Maybe it was on us, the people who believed this was ever a love story. We romanticized a corpse. We turned death into beauty. And like the princess tangled in thorns, we've been trapped by that same illusion ever since. Sleeping Beauty never woke up. She was never meant to. If you thought this story was dark, click the video on your screen. Before the thorns close in,